Hello guys, how's it going? My name is Al. Over the Tuesday, Wednesday reset, Blizzard announced even more class updates, primarily for PvP content. In the blue post, Blizzard is going after some of the one-shot capabilities of classes within arenas and battlegrounds, while also improving some of the throughput of a handful of healers within PvP. This week, we also get some major nerfs to some of the bosses of the Raid of Sepulchre, with Halandras, the crab boss, receiving some of the biggest improvements, and Anduin and Jailer also receiving some nerfs as well. I want to cover all of these impactful updates in today's video, but right before we do that, most of you guys who watch these videos are still not subscribed. However, the more of you are reminded, the more of you do. So let's keep it going. Subscribe to the channel as well as the bell if you're watching these videos anyway, especially if you want to catch regular updates for the patch 9.2 or potentially future WoW expansion announcements, with hopefully us seeing the expansion of Dragonflight Alpha sometime in the near future. First of all, let's start with the class PvP tuning. We got some nerfs as well as some buffs. Starting with the spec of Fire Mage, their Blazing Barrier ability is getting reduced by 25%. As of recently in Season 3, quite a lot of mages begun running a Blazing Soul talent, which allows their Blink ability to break a stun, but also to apply a Blazing Barrier around them. Running Blink over Shimmer for the stun breaker does help mages be a little bit more survivable, but that bonus shield effect does make it even more valuable. Together with the conduit of Flow of Time, which has become quite popular, mages can have their Blink cooldown be as short as 10 seconds. The short cooldown of Blink feeds towards the Blazing Barrier talent, which gives you a ton more survivability. Together with the conduits like Tempest Barrier, Blink provides you even more Absorb. And the conduit of Diverted Energy, even though this conduit saw a couple of nerfs over the last few updates, the high uptime of Blazing Barrier does provide you even more survivability. With these updates, Blizzard is going after the Fire Mage self-sustain. With mages having their survivability cut back a bit, it might make some of the compositions of Rogue Mage in 2v2s a little bit more manageable to deal with. Rogue and Mage both have high damage, great crowd control, as well as great survivability, and that self-sustain is what's really being impacted the most with this update. The next class on the list will be the Mystery Monk, seeing its Life Cocoon ability Absorb get buffed by 33%. This is quite a massive buff to the ability of Life Cocoon. This change will likely make the PvP talent of Chrysalis even stronger. This buff will definitely impact Monk's ability to counteract big damage with the Absorb shield or potentially save an ally from a tight situation. In the patch 9.2, monks are still pretty behind the other healers. They are able to perform well at the high-end content, but out of all the other healing playstyles, a monk's representation is generally one of the lowest. So hopefully these changes, as well as future updates, will help them become more in line with the rest of the healers. For all the three specs of Paladin, the pure concentration conduit's effectiveness has been reduced by 50% in PvP, which allows concentration aura to make your team more resistant to fear effects. With this nerf, in a way, Blizzard is buffing the classes of Warlocks, Warriors, and Priests, who are now going to be more effective when facing against Paladins within PvP content. For the spec of Holy Paladin, the Divine Favor PvP talent Heal Amplification effect saw a 10% nerf. However, in return, Holy Light-based PvP healing effectiveness has been doubled. Same with the Flash of Light ability, becoming 25% more effective within PvP situations just for the Holy Paladin spec. The nerf to Divine Favor, but a buff to the basic healing abilities, is likely to give Holy Paladins a little bit more diversity in the PvP talents that they run going forward. The ability of Divine Favor feels like it should be a staple of the Holy Paladin kit, since majority of Paladins run it into almost every situation. So with this change, they will likely be able to diversify the PvP talents that they run, depending on the tier set and depending on what classes they face in arenas. The spec of Holy Priest is seeing even more nerfs. The 2-piece tier set bonus cooldown reduction benefit is now going to be less effective within PvP content, and the PvP talent of Miracle Worker cooldown reduction effect will be cut in half. It seems like Blizzard is trying to tackle the ability of a Holy Priest to be able to supply emergency healing to allies to make it a little bit less readily available than it has in the past. It seems like Holy Priest has been getting nerfs every few weeks, and they continue to get nerfs even today. This will likely still allow them to maintain their dominant position when it comes to PvP performance in 2v2 and 3v3 arenas. The class of Rogue is seeing a nerf for the spec of Assassination, primarily when it comes to the 4-piece tier set bonus, which will allow your dots to tick out only at half speed rather than at full speed while Vendetta is planted on your target. This is quite a hefty burst nerf for the 4-piece tier set bonus that allowed Assassination Rogues to do some really cheesy plays, specifically those involving the poison effect from the Night Fae Covenant and the 100% crit legendary effect. Even with these updates, Assassination is still likely to be a very powerful and a deadly spec for PvP content. Many classes already fear the 2-piece tier set Assassination Rogue, with their shift empowering the bleed damage by 40%. Having a reduction on that Vendetta burst on top of it will allow other classes a little bit more breathing room rather than getting globaled by the Assassination Rogue within PvP. The spec of Restoration Shaman is also seeing some PvP tuning, with the Healing Surge ability becoming 10% more effective for PvP for Restoration Shaman only. The ability of Healing Wave is seeing a 20% effectiveness PvP buff. And finally, the Restoration Shaman 4-piece tier set bonus, when you drop down one of your water totems that fire off a chain heal, that chain heal is going to be 10% more effective within PvP content. Overall, we're seeing some effective throughput buffs for Restoration Shaman, which should see a lot more value, either out of their emergency healing, meta efficient healing, or from the tier set bonus healing. And finally, the spec of Protection Warrior 4-piece tier set is getting nerfed by 50%. The tier set allows you, once you spend enough rage or activate avatar, for your next shield slam to do 200% more damage to the enemy target. This allows Protection Warriors a primer to stack up a variety of different talent buffs and passives in order to amplify their shield slam damage even further. So together with Shield Block for 30% more damage, Avatar for 30% baseline damage, Punish for 20% more shield slam damage, Booming Voice for 20% more damage done to the target, and various mastery buffs and active effects allow them to charge at the enemy and one-shot the enemy target with a single swing of their shield. Together with the on-use resolve trinket, it made it practically impossible to stop the warrior unless you're focusing all the crowd control and interrupts into their opener, which gave Protection Warriors a reliable burst that's able to wipe out an entirety or majority of an entire health bar of the enemy target in a single swing of their shield. I imagine that the shield damage is still going to be relatively high, but not as destructive as it originally was, which will likely mean the end of fun for Protection Warriors within PvP content. Besides all of the class changes, we also got some PvE tuning, specifically for the 3 bosses of the Sepulchre Raid Mythic. Starting off with Halange's The Crab boss, Blizzard decided to butcher him with this week's nerfs. The hot potato mechanic has been made much easier to play into. The damage from the boss fight generally has been reduced, the boss health has also been shortened, and with this change, Halanges will likely become less of a barrier boss than he initially was for many guilds trying to get into mythic progression. We also saw nerfs to the next boss of Anduin, with a lot of the adds in that fight seeing their health numbers generally reduced, as well as the ability of Befouled Barrier having its absorb numbers decreased as well. Blizzard also weakened the Jailer this week by decreasing his auto attack damage in Mythics, a reduction to his health, less damage from the Martyrdom and the Torment abilities, and the boon of Azeroth has been increased by 20%. With these bosses getting nerfed, we'll likely see even more guilds getting further ahead in the Mythic Raid progression, and even more guilds starting to claim the Jailer Cutting Edge achievement. But besides all that, that's going to be all of the updates that we had in today's video. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Let me know in the comments what you think about the class buffs and nerfs that we got this week in the comments. Do you think the Blizzard may have been too harsh with some of the nerfs? And what other playstyles do you think need an improvement going forward for the patch 9.2 for PvP? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And as always, if you guys enjoyed this video or found it informative, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. I would very much appreciate it. And as always, in the description of this video, we have a link to our Discord community channel. Probably the best place to reach out to me directly in case you want to let me know what you thought about today's update. Join our Discord to become part of the community. But otherwise, thank you guys so much for watching. I do hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts, and as always, I'll see all of you guys in another video.